Hey everybody, and welcome back to Office Antics Thursday Review. I am so gracefully co-hosted today with Monica of the Lion. And it's special because we saw this weekend the one, the only
Wonder Woman!
Wonder Woman! The new DC film, and it was pretty dang good.
It was wonderful.
It was Wonder Womanful.
No. And I am dressed like Wonder Woman herself today. I was inspired after watching that movie and I loved it, so.
She even wore the crown that Wonder Woman wears in the movie.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is a big hit for DC. And as you all know, Marvel basically kind of runs the show when it comes to superhero movies. Am I correct in that sentiment?
Basically, yeah. I mean, but maybe not anymore.
Oh, because we got a new player on the field, people, and it is a Princess Diana of the Amazonias.
Yes.
She is amazing.
She is, and I think that Gal Gadot, or I don't know if I pronounced that right.
I think it's Gal Gadot.
Gal
Gadot.
Gal Gadot. I used to say Home Depot because there's a T there.
Oh, Gal.
So that's what I'm thinking with her name.
Gal you go. Gal Gadot. The big thing here, right, is that Marvel, they own everything when you think superhero. And DC, they've been struggling to keep up.
You're letting him kill Martha.
But they also have some of the biggest characters in comic book history, right?
A Batman.
The second one, kind of big, Superman.
Who's that?
And then most recently, Suicide Squad. Seen that movie? Ever heard of it?
Wow. You know, watch it in the bathroom.
Yeah, on the toilet maybe.
Yeah, it's a perfect, like, on the toilet movie.
Y'all are just tourists.
Batman versus Superman, very split. A lot of people loved it, a lot of people hated it. They didn't like what they did to Superman. They didn't like the casting of Ben Affleck as Batman, which honestly, I think Batfleck is okay.
I was about to comment on Batfleck. I think he's appropriate. I thought he had so much flack for it. He did a really good job, and I don't think I could see, you know,
I think it wasn't like him acting at all. It was probably just like directing or something.
Yeah.
If it wasn't quite there for some people, I think it was the directing.
He fit the description of Batman.
Yeah, the old kind of curmudgeon Batman, right?
Yes.
He's just kind of like, I need some help. I'm gonna form a Justice League, right? Which is a movie coming up soon, which looks on par with Wonder Woman, looks real good.
Just like a bat. I dig it.
So I think in our assessment, DC might...
It's coming back.
It might be making a comeback.
Yeah,
I think
with
this and Justice League, they'll probably be right up there with Marvel.
I agree.
So the new Wonder Woman film was directed by Patty Jenkins. Now her last big movie she did was called Monster. Charlize Theron was a serial killer.
Yeah, she did a good job.
The thing no one ever realized about me was that I could train myself into anything.
Everyone is thinking, well, it's Wonder Woman. Of course, it needs to be directed by a woman, right? It's interesting because Patty Jenkins, in directing it, said, I don't necessarily think it has to be a woman. I think that I can relate a lot to this, but I think the difference is being able to show a very dynamic and flawed main character and superhero. And from her perspective, she thinks women have even more of that kind of perspective than men do. So it's very interesting for her to come in and just really do an amazing job directing this film. The way that she has all of the leading women and male characters, they're very well-rounded, in my opinion. They were very well-rounded, right?
Yeah. To kind of have like one side be demasculated, or if that makes sense. But even the male part in it, I mean, she still made him a strong personality.
No,
she equaled it.
Chris Pine is the leading male, and he plays Steve Trevor. He is the love interest, kind of the male counterpart hero. He's a spy for the Brits, right? British spy, or he's American spying with the British. It's World War I era, so early 1900s. If you don't know every single detail about World War I, what are you doing with your life?
Go get a history class.
Because clearly none of you knew that Wonder Woman was kind of the winning factor for the whole thing.
Yeah, it's what your textbooks didn't want you to
Oh, duh, get learned. I was worried that they'd make her very naive because she's all about fighting Ares, the god of war, who is her brother, uncle, I don't know, he's son of Zeus. She's also daughter of Zeus?
Yes, daughter of Zeus.
But maybe it's brother. Maybe they're
Oh, you know what? It is brother.
Step siblings.
Yes.
Only I think he's just like probably thousands of years older, but they got the same daddy.
Yeah, they got the same daddy.
Yeah, Zeusy. I was worried that they'd make her very naive in this way that they kind of do a lot of times to strong female characters, which is like the male character needs to tell her about the realities of the situation, right?
What is this place? Who are you?
It is our sacred duty to defend the world.
Right.
But they did that in a way that wasn't male versus female, right? They did it in a way of he just kind of knew more about the war and what was going on, and she was like, well, yeah, no, I need to go find Ares, and he's the god of war. He's causing all this to happen, and you know, Chris Pine was kind of like, okay, sure, kind of sort of thing.
Yeah, she was. I think they didn't make her. I think when you hear the word naive, you think of, oh, she's so innocent, she doesn't.
Yeah.
But I think in this case, she was just curious of everything because she didn't. I mean, she's in an island that she doesn't know anything else.
Right. Like zero exposure. And there's moments when he kind of was like, do you even know any of these basic normal things? And then she totally owns him, being like, oh yeah, I've read basically every book ever made. Like I know all of that. Yeah, and he was like, oh, well, okay. So it was funny because she's like, didn't have the street smarts, I guess you would call it. She's clearly morally and emotionally and intellectually
educated.
Like just way up there. Yeah. She's like, no, I'm a brilliant, very good, I'm half god, bro. Look it up.
Get on my level.
Gal Gadot. I think she broke onto the scene with Fast and the Furious. She's from Israel, okay? She was in the Israeli Defense Forces.
2 years, at the age of 20.
I mean, she's a soldier. She's legit.
She is legitimately Wonder Woman. Like,
she kicks butt. And
she
did it professionally before she even was an actress.
So I was kind of nervous to see this movie.
Yeah.
Because, like, I mean, I am all for women empowerment, but you know, like, sometimes they just don't portray it the way that you would want to.
Truth.
And so I went into this movie kind of not really expecting anything because I was like, you know what, I'm not going to have high expectations because it's probably just going to be another Hollywood movie. But Patty Jenkins did a killer job on it. Acting, the casting for that, special effects. I think that
oh man, the fight sequences were so dope. They were so dope. I've never seen the Amazons fight.
They like brought in the Matrix and then like brought in some like fighting, just typical styles and just put it into this and had like a little Matrix baby.
The fighting was awesome.
It was insane.
I mean, it reminded me of 300.
Yeah.
You know, in that fighting style, which was also funny because the whole island of Themyscira and the whole Amazon culture, it's ancient Greek. And maybe Hollywood has just established this, but it's like if you're in ancient Greece or Rome or wherever, they're all the same to me because I'm uneducated. They're gonna fight this way, which is green screen, flying through the air, Matrix style, whoop your booty.
I just wanted her to be like, this is the scare.
If any of you watch House of Cards, Claire Underwood, aka Robin Wright, she plays the like combat general teaching Princess Diana how to fight, and I mean she is so gnarly. Like she's so good at what she does. She's got like battle wounds and scars.
Yeah,
and she's
you can see like a big rip right on her shoulder, and she doesn't care. She like brands it like proudly, like I got this.
And she's like, yeah, sure, I remember when we fought off the gods that one time.
I was there.
Antiope is her name. And she's kind of like her auntie.
Yeah, oh yeah, like...
Wait, no, she is. No,
she is. She's her aunt. She was trained by her aunt.
Her aunt Antiope. Yeah.
Da-dum. All right, spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
So if you haven't seen the movie yet of Wonder Woman, don't watch this part.
My favorite, I know we'll like break it down a little bit like as the story unfolds, but my favorite moment was when we discover who Ares actually is.
Ooh, bombshell.
Bombshell. And secondly, I think the whole idea that he was real as a character in the movie, because they didn't play that up. They really played it up, and they even get to that point when the main bad guy, General
Luffendorfer
or whatever, and she straight murders him.
Like stab.
Something that you wouldn't necessarily see, I feel like, in a Marvel movie or something.
I mean,
but
like,
she's like, I am going to kill you. And then she stabs him with a knife.
You will soon find out.
Like, and the knife goes through the building.
It goes through the whole building,
like,
and him.
Like, Steve Trevor goes in and he's like, Diana? And then he sees the sword and he's like, oh.
Oh yeah, he's like looking up, he sees a sword coming through the roof. He's like, ooh,
She done stabbed him for
someone
sure.
got done stabbed. And he goes up there, she's like standing up there, she's like,
I killed him.
I stabbed him.
Everybody's good now.
I stabbed him right through the heart. You should have seen it. It was crazy. He died real hard.
She's like the pure and kindred spirit
throughout
the entire movie, but then when she's faced with something that she needs to kill for mankind, she's like, Hatsha! And just like, man.
But I didn't expect this twist of suddenly real gods are in play.
Yeah.
Right? When that happened, I was watching, I was like, oh shoot, this is really turning into something. Because it was like war and fighting and on the front and all this kind of like stuff, again, based in reality. And then suddenly, here's Ares, the god of war, and they're having a god battle. Out of nowhere. It really was out of left field. It was a very Marvel thing to do.
Yeah. Even at the beginning, like when they were shooting at the mascara, when they were there,
yeah.
I mean, her people died because bullets are a thing. Like,
right.
Bullets can kill you.
Yeah,
so,
they hurt.
That was, ouchie.
They hurt
like,
you dead.
That was it was kind of that kind of reality. Was like, oh, they can die.
Yeah.
Like, that's a thing. So you kind of took that along with the entire movie. And so at the end, when they just busted it out, friggin'
a god,
Professor...
Professor wars a lot. Professor kills a lot.
Yeah, Professor...
Or wait, are we talking about someone else? Are we talking about Ares? Who are you talking about?
I forgot his name in real life. I was talking Lupin.
Oh! Remus Lupin from Harry Potter!
Lupin just pops out of nowhere and he's like, oh yeah, also, in addition to being a werewolf, I'm also a god.
Yeah, yeah. And also, when they first present him, when he's revealed to be Ares, which was a total twist I did not see coming. That was well done. That was very subtle. Nice. I was like, oh, it's a big movie, so they have a big actor. Because you can always tell when there's like a side role, but you're like, that's an A-list actor. They clearly are going to have a bigger part. I thought he was playing that part. I thought he was just playing the part of like, he was a senator or something?
Yeah, he was a senator.
Yeah, or he was part of the British Parliament or something like that. And they were like, hey, you know what? You're doing good. I'm going to give you some money. And like here, you can go on this mission, on this venture. And then he was straight up the god of war.
Yeah.
That was well played. I did not see it coming.
I didn't either. I was like, what, Lupin, what you doing in this
Lupin! You werewolf fool.
How did you get up? Didn't you have a cane?
You're lucky it ain't a full moon right now, Lupin. Yo, if Ares was a werewolf, though, we'd all be in for real troubles. Troubles. Because the only way that we could ever possibly hope to defeat Ares would be maybe a love child between Wonder Woman and Harry Potter.
Hollywood directors.
Wouldn't hate it.
That was a great idea, formed by the both of us. We just birthed you $1 million baby.
Hey, hit us up if you would like a script for Wonder Woman and Harry Potter, destroy the God of War, Wary's Wolf.
Wary's Wolf. I will be the baby if you want.
I think overall for me, this movie is gotta be, I want to give it like 8.5 or 9 out of 10. I mean, in terms of superhero movies. Honestly, just as a movie, it had a very good story arc. It kept me engaged like nonstop. It was very sentimental. It was very action-packed. It was fun. There was a lot of, I think DC definitely tries to stay away from the fun quality, not like Marvel dives right into fun and goofiness, especially with like Guardians. It's just everything's a one-liner joke. DC really tries to be like gritty, this standard I think Christopher Nolan set with the Dark Knight and like that. It's just everything is dark and brooding and like, oh my god, the world's gonna end. I guess these moody superheroes will save us. There was a little bit of levity to this one. It was very dark and very gritty and very real, but there was just some innocence and some jokes, which was really great. So I really highly, highly, highly recommend going to see Wonder Woman. I might go see it again a second time.
I will too.
So, okay, your general thoughts on the movie?
I would totally recommend it. If you don't know any of the history of Wonder Woman, you don't know any of the DC, Marvel, it doesn't really even matter. Like, this movie stands alone by itself. You don't need the history of anything. So if you just want to go see a really good movie, whether you're a teenager or you're a little tot, it doesn't even matter. Like, this was a great movie for everybody. It's a family-friendly movie, too. So I really liked it. I loved that they chose somebody that was very fitting for the character and not just like a Hollywood branding, here you go.
A total risk, by the way. I mean, absolutely a risk.
Which I think paid off very well. So I would totally go see it again in this outfit. I'm gonna go tomorrow.
Anyway, thank you so much for watching this episode of the Thursday Review with your hosts, Evan, Alaska Angeles, and Monica of the Lion. Don't forget to slap that like button, subscribe, but comment below and let us know if you've seen Wonder Woman or if you're gonna go see it.
And what you thought of it.
What you thought of it.
This is the scary.